You guys ready? A 1, a 2. A 1, a 2. A 1, 2, 3. What is up, everybody? Tommy the Hammer here, hanging out with BC.
Hi.
And Johnny Rocket.
Hi.
It is another Friday night. We are kicking it, and we are going to be reviewing 2 movies. We got a double feature on the docket. BC, what you got in line for tonight, man?
So the first movie we're gonna watch is Electric Dragon 80,000 Volts, and the second movie we're gonna watch is The Calamari Wrestler.
Wow.
Both from Japan. Electric Dragon 80,000 Volts. It's got Tadanobu Asano. That's like our favorite Japanese actor. We love him. He's in tons of cult cinema. He's crossed over to American cinema. He's in Thor. He's in Silence, which is a Martin Scorsese film.
Yeah.
He's all over. He's great. And he's going to be in the new Mortal Kombat movie. But this movie, he plays a character called Dragon Eye Morrison. And he's got electric powers. And then there's a villain named Thunderbolt Buddha, who's got this guy named Masatoshi Nagase, who's in Suicide Club. So also in cult cinema.
Yes.
So you got punk rock and electricity and supervillains and superheroes. What else could you possibly want?
I don't think we can go wrong with this one. Like, I can't wait to dive into this.
And it's a short 55 minutes. So
What's the second film, man?
This is about a calamari wrestler. You know, it's a guy wearing a huge calamari suit, fighting other people, and it almost looks like a drama where, like, you're seeing him go through his day-to-day life. He finds a love interest. He's probably struggling with, like, issues that normal people struggle with. But it's a wrestler wearing a giant suit. Like, it looks ridiculous. And it looks right up our alley.
I gotta say, BC, I can always count on you to bring the double-fisted weird to the party. I can't wait. We're gonna go ahead and start things off with this very bizarre, unique Electric Dragon 80,000 volts. Pardon the fuck out of me.
竜、それは伝説の怪物か。いや、違う。それは生きている。生きて眠っている。人間の心の中に。
Alright, so we just got done watching Electric Dragon 80,000 Volts. What a hell of a movie. This film totally blindsided me with its insane cinematography. This film just packs a power punch of black and white powerhouse maneuvers. Like, the cinematographer for this film knows exactly what they're doing. I feel like they've studied either film noir or they're a fan of old school black and white movies with like a touch of giallo in terms of the overall visual sense. And then you've got this very 1980s new wave punk rock sentiment to the rest of the movie.
Where to start? I'll start with the cinematography, just the overall visual appeal. Like, you didn't need dialogue, honestly, because this looked so awesome. Like, it was captivating to a point. Like, wow. Like, you're hooked on every scene. Like, there's absolutely nothing is wasted. You want to see how he's gonna frame each shot. Like, you're just almost, wanting to see where it goes, like what he's gonna look at, like every obtuse angle. Like, I don't think there's like a square, well, there kind of is, but there isn't. But like, I can't believe this is only 55 minutes.
Yeah.
This felt like almost an hour and a half to me. Like, I was, like, they build up the, tension between these characters. It feels literally like electricity rising in a Jacob's to meet itself to spark off at the top. Like, this is really well done. This is fantastic cinema. This is so awesome. And the music, I don't know, it's just perfect.
Tadanobu Asano is my favorite Japanese actor, but he's not just that. He's my favorite actor, period.
Whoa.
I'm trying to get all of his filmography because he has such a screen presence. I'm a fanboy. He has such a screen presence. He's funny, he's dramatic, he can do any type of role, and he's not afraid to do any type of role.
So much fun to watch.
Yeah, he is.
Like a kid.
And even like the worst movie that we've seen with him, Shark Sea Man, Peach Girl, he was the best part. Like, we enjoyed when he was on the screen. So every time I see him, I'm happy. And I saw this, I love punk rock. I like the cyberpunk technology era Japanese type of films, and I knew this was a part of that, and at 55 minutes, you can't go wrong. Like, there was no, even if this would have been bad, you can't go wrong. No. But the cinematography was amazing. Every shot, like you said, both of you said, it was, you were taken aback. You were like, how the hell is this like some low budget random cult Japanese film, because this is amazing.
For me, Electric Dragon, 80,000 volts. I think this is up on the same level as Tetsuo Ironman. I was telling these guys it during the movie. So, Tetsuo Ironman for me is up there in terms of a star count. This one is going to be up there. I gotta say this is 10 out of 10. Tetsuo Ironman is 10 out of 10. This is 10 out of 10, but it's funny because this is nowhere near as long as Tetsuo, and it's different in a lot of ways, and it's not as good, but it's not a bad movie either. I just think it's its own animal, and you gotta take it for what it is.
That's so funny you say 10 out of 10, Tom, because I was also thinking 10 out of 10 stars.
Wow!
Like, no, for real. Like, I almost even wanted to give it an 11. Like, that's possible. Like,
shit.
This was so much fun. This was so, this was, I mean, I can't even say it was in the wheelhouse. It was in another dimension of the wheelhouse. Like,
Just the wheelhouse and
it was, I don't know.
Hard.
Now, you were talking about this, I would put this in the same genre of Tetsuo. There's technology influence. But Tetsuo is ugly, it's grimy, but it's supposed to be that way. And it is a 10 out of 10. It arguably influenced the whole genre of Japanese film. Everything you see from all of these art house, avant-garde, crazy filmmakers in Japan are influenced by Shinya Tsukamoto, who did Tetsuo. And I gotta agree with both of these men. Yeah, if it could be an 80,000, but it's a 10. It's a 10 out of 10 movie because it's hilarious, it's funny, it's beautifully shot. The actors are awesome, and honestly, I just don't know what else I could have possibly wanted from this. This hit everything that I wanted it to.
It hit all the right notes.
I loved it. It was absolutely fantastic.
Right, if you're looking for a movie that gets a perfect score across the board, this is it right here.
I don't know if we've ever done that.
I don't think we've ever done
We made history in the making right here.
History.
A perfect score, 30 out of 30 stars for this film.
That's a tough
right here.
It is.
So now what?
Alright, so we are also going to be doing BC's pick for the Calamari Wrestler.
I don't know how we're gonna follow this up.
Yeah, I don't know.
This one set such a high standard.
It did. I hope this one doesn't somehow come at things from a completely different angle. Regardless, check out the trailer for the Calamari Wrestler, or whatever the fuck I can dig up with this flick, because honestly, guys, I don't even fucking... I feel like Calamari Wrestler was a little too offbeat for my tastes to follow up the last movie. I feel like this was an odd duck. This is, you know, interesting dialogue, interesting characters, and a main lead that is a squid. So if you're not on board with that premise, if you're not on board with the ridiculousness of Asian wrestling that happens to be a lead character that is a squid, then you are going to be fucking taken for a ride.
It's a special bond. It's unique, and it's so much fun. I'm so glad this is our second feature. Like, I feel incredibly spoiled. We got to watch both of these in one night. Like, these were both so good. Like, this was like a super awesome double feature. Like, you're glad you're staying up, getting bug bitten at the drive-in watching this movie. Like, it's all right. Like, I don't mind. Like, this was totally awesome.
So I hit the nail on the head for Rocket. BC, lay it on us, dude. This is your movie.
So from the age of 5 all the way to 15, I was a huge pro wrestling fan. I went to multiple WWE events in Cleveland, and like you said, like, I got behind this character because all of pro wrestling, like, it's staged, and most of the stories, like 97% of them, are incredibly ridiculous, just like this.
Exactly. You've got your face, you've got your heel.
And despite how ridiculous it is, like, we care. You know,
Yes!
we like a certain character and we want them to succeed. And like this, you know, it usually the love triangle is like the main theme of it. And this was like at the end the family triangle was. That is what took precedent over everything. It was, not only was it nostalgic, but it was fun. It pokes fun at the things that are funny, but it's not disrespectful. And
that can really turn a person off when you've got, you know, a director or like someone that's poking fun at it. You know what I'm saying? It's not, you know, they're like busting its chops. This one didn't, though.
Right, it understands that like wrestling's an acquired taste.
Yeah.
But it also acknowledges like it means a lot to people.
Yes.
And for me, like, yeah, it hit all the right spots. The first movie we watched was odd, and this was odd in a completely different way.
Yeah.
And somehow punk rock electric people managed to perfectly, you know, mesh with this pro wrestling, you know, weird
soap opera.
Yeah, it was very dramatic at points, but like the fact that this wrestler's having this inner struggle, this love struggle, this family struggle, that's what brought it all together, because real wrestling's like that. It's all ridiculous, but we really care. We're really invested.
It's like we're looking in the mirror, right? We have our own struggles with the same exact topics, so of course we identify with this. And I don't know, it's like you're looking in the mirror and there's a mirror behind you, and then you're looking at that and you're starting to look, you know, and yeah, you just see it in yourself and you see that through that extra lens.
You know, when it comes down to wrestling, I mean, I've got obviously a soft spot in my heart for WWF and then eventually WWE, and I kind of fell off in the 90s, like especially in the mid to the late 90s. So my interest in wrestling kind of capped off when The Rock kind of came to be. You know what I'm saying? Which is kind of... Yeah. You know, when it came down to WWF, it was like Saturday morning cartoons, Pee-wee's Playhouse, and then capped off with WWF in the afternoon. So like, I had this huge buildup of cartoons and Fruity Pebbles and whatever the fuck it was that I was eating at the time. This kind of encapsulates it or at least that love to a degree. But on one hand, it didn't make me step outside of that. It didn't make me understand it, or at least in terms of this movie, in a way to where I was able to gravitate towards, you know, the Calamari Wrestler for a more redonkulous trauma execution, maybe a little more. I gotta say, I think Big Man Japan was better.
For that action and that angle,
and
I guess.
I was looking for more costumes, more ridiculous, more wrestling, more wrestling. That's where I'm coming from. That doesn't mean I didn't appreciate it for what it was. It might not be as high as these boys over here. I gotta say, this is 7.5.
Rapid fire, I'm gonna go ahead and give this a 10 out of 10 as well. This was such a great B-side to that side A of Electric Dragon named 1000 Volts, like double feature. Like this was so good. Like, of course, each of these would have stood on its own. Like, we could have totally reviewed this, you know, next time it was your pick, you know, just held this back. Like, and I think I still definitely would have enjoyed this, but man, to pair this up, like, that's just an ultimate 1-2 combo right there for me. Like,
that's BC for you.
The way that the actors in the suits sold this so well. Like, I just multiple times I felt myself just giving them props. Like, man, they are just really bringing this to life.
And this totally powerhouse your ball sack.
This powerbombed my ball sack. BC.
All right, so I'm like a mid to late 90s baby. For me, you know, wrestling. I got into wrestling in the mid 2000s. You know, up to like 2010. You know, so early to 2010, and I stopped watching wrestling when Chris Benoit decided to, you know, kill his family and himself. So it was a tragic ending to my wrestling love. And he was arguably one of the best wrestlers that there was. But here's the thing.
Hit him with the crossface, baby. Like.
Crippler crossface. Here's the thing. This movie, like, all of the, I guess, I don't want to say the fat scenes, but the dramatic scenes were overly dramatic. They were overacted. They were ridiculous. But that's what professional wrestling always was. So it fit. It wasn't out of place. And they found a way to keep you invested, and it was also funny. And then, like you said, you have these, three characters, really, that are all wearing these suits at different points, and they're selling it, despite having 8 arms, boxing gloves, all this ridiculous shit. They're trying their heart out. There's Northern Light suplexes, there's inverted full Nelsons, there's hilarious things. And at the end of the day, this movie, like, when I watched real professional wrestling, WWE, all that stuff, it was overly dramatic, and yet I was still invested. 5 through 15-year-old me loved certain characters, hated certain ones, would stay up too late even though I had school the next day to watch all of this shit, and I would talk about it. People would tell me it was fake, and I didn't care. And this movie's the same thing. If this would have happened when I was 5 through 15 years old, I would have went to school and been like, I watched this squid fight this lobster-looking guy or this other squid, and it was fucking badass. They loved the same girl. They were family. There's all these different aspects. It makes no sense, but I don't care because it appealed to my heart. It was entertaining. It was funny. And then combine all of what I just said with the fact that we watched Electric Dragon 80,000 Volts first. This was a hilarious and perfect follow-up. It's true. These type of movies out of Japan, they're nothing like movies that come out of here. We don't see these types of movies come out of the West. Still going to 9 out of 10. I'm going to 9 because it was hilarious. I was crying of laughter at some points.
I don't know what else I can say about this. I could say a million other things about this.
Should we not follow it up with anything else or just stop right now?
Of course not.
Oh,
of course not.
Okay, so you do have something else to say.
We do have more to say about this.
Here's what I'm going to say.
Okay.
I'm plastered, and it's the first time I've been plastered in a while. So if you watch this movie and you don't think it's great cinema and you're like, wow, these guys are fucking stupid, I understand. But, like, we're not stupid, okay? This is coming from the heart. I really love this.
This is...
You know, it was great.
You know...
It was funny. It hit the heart.
This is a great test. This movie is a test. I don't know if I call it a rite of passage, but it's definitely a test.
Ooh.
If you can sit back, relax, and actually enjoy a movie like this, then you truly, I don't know, you have reached a level of dudeness that a lot of people strive to achieve, say they want to achieve, but they don't actually achieve. Honestly, I don't want to, like, sound like I'm too high up on a soapbox here, but honestly, like, you know, if you find yourself getting caught up and, like, what the fuck, man? What is this stupid costumes are dumb? Like, why are they taking this so seriously or something like that? If you're having that hang up, you really need to examine yourself. Look at that. Like, wait a minute, why am I feeling like this? Like, you know, why can't I enjoy a movie like this? That's the question you need to ask yourself. Why can't I just hang back and just enjoy these guys floundering around in these giant rubber prosthetic suits and appreciate this for, like, the soap opera, like, just pull your heartstrings drama that it is.
Yeah.
You can't settle, you know, into yourself enough and relax and enjoy this kind of a film. Like,
And here's the other thing.
I'm telling you right now.
You know, you don't want to be by yourself, recline back in the chair with some, like, fucking pipe tobacco, okay? You want to be with your friends, and you want to remember all the shit that you enjoyed, you know, as a kid that was stupid. You had no reason to like it. Like, I look back at pro wrestling, and I'm like, most of that shit, it made no sense. It was dumb. But I loved it. And like I said, I was completely invested. And that's how we are now. And we came from different wrestling generations, too. And it struck the same chord. And that says a lot about it. I mean, if you think about it, both might be equally painful. But either way,
I think one is more painful, senor.
Oh my god.
Well, you know, that's how we go on the Neon Trash. We're going to say good night, everybody.
Yeah.
Good night.